Hey comic book fans, my nerdy friends, and my geeky compadres, what's going on? Welcome to another Tradin with RWC. This time we're going to be looking at the Cobbler's Monster. Okay, first things first, Jeff Amano is the writer. He also did the cover art. Craig Russo is the penciler. Wayne Foucher is the inker. And Julia Brusco, oh god, that was terrible, is the colorist. There, the colorist. And Kristen Ferretti is the letterer. So, here's the cover. That's pretty cool. So this is tagged, I guess, as a Tale of Geppetto's Frankenstein. I thought that this was going to be something a little bit different than it actually was. I thought we'd get more. I don't know exactly what I thought. I thought it was interesting, an interesting idea, because you know how I like things that kind of like mix stories, like Peter Panzerfaust mixes the Peter Pan with the wartime stuff. I really love that. So I thought this was going to be mixing Pinocchio with Frankenstein. You don't really get that at all. I mean, one of the main characters' names is Geppetto. And there is one mention of him being a cobbler. And that's it. There's no mention of Pinocchio. Geppetto apparently was married, had a real son named Victor. So it didn't really, that part kind of threw me off. Like that part of this book kind of, I don't want to say upset me, but it changed my opinion on the book like drastically immediately. And then as far as the Frankenstein part of it, it's not really Frankenstein. It's a golem. So the book's kind of at least the title and the tagline are kind of liars. Like, so just right off, I kind of didn't really like it. But the more I read it, the more I liked it. Somewhat. So it starts off with the, what was it, the year is 18, shoot, I want to say 1882, but I'm not 100% sure. I might be completely wrong. 1887. I was close. So it starts off 1887, and like this is the first scene. That's what we assume is Frankenstein eating a boy's dog, I think. Then we come to like this riot scene at this guy's house. I'm trying to remember. Gregory. His last name is Gregory. And he's a friend of Geppetto. Geppetto has this friend who is from a wealthy family, the Gregory family, and then he also has Dr. Percy, who is a friend of his, who at the time is trying to make his way in science with genetics. Genetics being kind of a newfound thing at the time. Geppetto, his wife dies of a disease, and his son also contracts the disease and is dying. He begins to talk to his friend Matthew, who is one of the Gregory clan, and his doctor friend, and they want to figure out a way to take Victor's genetics and reproduce him, basically. Then it takes this turn where apparently Geppetto and Matthew study the Kabbalah, and inside it they find a way to make a golem out of like mud and river water, and then put Victor's DNA into the golem, and then it becomes the Frankenstein. And then from there, it's just he's killing random people and doing random acts of violence and stuff like that. And I guess if I got past the idea that I had in my head for this book, it probably would have been good. But I went into it thinking it was going to be one thing, and ended up not being that thing at all. Like, not remotely close. And then, as I read on, the end the end felt rushed, like, really quick. They end up tracking down the monster later on, and like at one point they thought the monster had died. And then Matthew got married. And then Matthew killed... the golem, Victor, killed Matthew's wife on their wedding night. And then they ended up tracking him down. It was just... It just really, really felt rushed. Like, really rushed. I mean, it's a thin trade. And this is the whole story. And actually, another thing that kind of got on my nerves was usually at the end of trades like this, you get a, cover gallery and sketches or whatever. And you get that. Like, here's a little sketch. Here's like an alternate cover or whatever. And then you flip the page and it's a special preview for a different book. You have like 6 or 7 pages of another book that I'm not remotely interested in. So that's kind of annoying. Like, thanks a lot, Image. But like I said, it might have been a good story if I didn't have a preconceived notion of what it was going to be. And really, this cover kind of implies what I thought. Look, there's strings on the fingers, there's a scar with stitching, and on the wrist too. You just kind of think, oh, this is going to be really freaking crazy. And guess what? It's not all that crazy. It's just kind of annoying. Because I thought it was going to be amazing. I was all super psyched about it, and then it just did not deliver at all. There were some cool parts. It's just not what I thought it was going to be at all. So, take this review however you will. I'm not going to recommend this book to you. based on what I thought it was going to be. I'm trying to think of any way that I could spin it that I could recommend it to you. But I'm not gonna. I don't want to. Not, like I said, not that it was bad, it just was not at all what I thought it was going to be. And kind of severely disappointed by it. Yeah, kind of severely disappointed by it. Anyway, so that's Cobbler's Monster. That's it, I guess. Bye.